Sigma males are often seen as the lone wolves of society who don't have many real friends. They may have acquaintances or people they hang out with, but true connections are hard to come by. They often find themselves on the edges of social circles, not because they are shy or lack intelligence, but due to deeper, more complicated reasons. While this may seem like a sad reality, it's not that Sigma men can't make friends or don't want any. However, their approach to relationships is completely different from others, which is why most of them end up with few or no friends. Many people think these men are just loners, but there's more to it than meets the eye. Let's take a closer look at 8 of the most important reasons why Sigma males don't have many friends. Number 1. Lie to them once, and they will never trust you again. If you lie to a Sigma man just once, no matter how small, you build a wall between you. From that moment on, everything you say will be questioned in their head. Even if they don't show it, they'll start thinking about what else you might be hiding or what other lies you might be telling. They might still hang out with you or talk to you, but deep down, they'll always have doubts. Sigma men value honesty above almost anything else because they see trust as the foundation of any true relationship. When that foundation is cracked, it's very hard to repair. It's not just because they're being stubborn. It's because they need to feel secure and safe with the people they choose to be around. When you lie to them, that sense of safety goes out the window. What makes it even tougher is that Sigma men are not likely to confront you about the lie. They'll keep those feelings inside, making it even harder for you to regain their trust. They don't want to create drama or make a scene, so they just start distancing themselves instead. They won't tell you they don't trust you anymore, but you'll feel them pulling away. This high standard for trust can make it hard for Sigma men to keep many friends. People lie for all kinds of reasons, sometimes without thinking much of it. But for a Sigma, even one little lie can ruin a relationship. They prefer to have a few close, trusted friends rather than a bunch of people they can't fully rely on. It's not that Sigma men don't want friends or are overly harsh. They just have very clear boundaries when it comes to trust. The few friends they do have are people they trust completely, and they work hard to keep it that way. Number 2. If something feels off, they'll pull away instantly. Have you ever felt uneasy around someone and couldn't quite put your finger on why? You might not have done anything wrong, but something just didn't feel right. This is pretty common for Sigma men. They have strong intuition and can pick up on people's energy very quickly. The moment they feel a hint of dishonesty, betrayal, or even just bad vibes, they don't waste time trying to stick around and fix things. They simply walk away. They're not overly suspicious or paranoid, but their instincts have often guided them well in the past. This instant withdrawal can make it hard for them to form lasting friendships. When Sigma men sense something off, they trust their gut. They would rather be alone than surrounded by people who make them feel uneasy or unsafe. This cautious approach helps them avoid unnecessary drama, but it also means their social circle stays pretty small. Sigma men are often misunderstood because of this quick reaction. People might think they are too sensitive or too picky, but they value their peace of mind above all else and won't compromise just to fit in or keep a questionable friend. Instead of trying to force themselves into friendships that don't feel right, they choose to be alone. This instinct to pull away isn't just about major betrayals or lies. Even small things can trigger their sense of caution. Maybe someone is acting too needy or pushy, or perhaps they notice a friend isn't being genuine. Whatever it is, once they sense it, they start to drift away. That's why Sigma men often find it challenging to keep friends who don't match their level of honesty and integrity. They have zero tolerance for fake behavior or hidden motives. While this might make them seem picky, it's simply a way to protect themselves from getting hurt or disappointed. Number 3. They just want to get the same effort they give. Have you ever had a time when you helped a friend as much as you could, but when you needed them, they gave you a silly excuse like they were too busy or forgot? This is something Sigma men take very personally. They'll do anything for their friends, but they expect the same in return. If you're not willing to put in the same effort they do, they'll pull away. This isn't about being petty or keeping score. It's all about balance and fairness. If they feel like they're putting in all the effort and you're not reciprocating, then what's the point of being friends? Sigma men don't expect others to be perfect or always available. They understand that life gets busy. But when it becomes clear that someone isn't putting in the same effort to maintain the friendship, they'll start to lose interest. This can be a tough pill to swallow for some friends, as they may feel like they're being unfairly judged. But for Sigma men, it's just a matter of respect and consideration. They don't ask for much, but they do expect to be treated with the same level of loyalty and effort they give to others. If that's not the case, then they'll treat that person exactly how they've been treated, like a mere acquaintance. Sigma men don't want to spend their energy on people who aren't willing to meet them halfway. They prefer to have a few true friends who are as loyal and committed as they are. This doesn't mean they don't care about others. They deeply care, which is why they get hurt when their effort isn't returned. They want genuine connections, not superficial ones. If you're a friend, they expect you to show up when it matters just like they would. If you flake or make lame excuses, don't be surprised if they start to distance themselves. Sigma men value quality over quantity when it comes to friendships. They'd rather have no friends at all than friends who don't really care. So if he's willing to go the extra mile for you, he expects you to do the same. Number 4. They've been hurt before and now have high walls up. Everyone knows the sting of being let down by someone you trusted. For Sigma men, the sting hits harder. Once bitten, twice shy is their motto. They've learned the hard way that not everyone deserves their trust, so they become a fortress, letting very few people inside. When you've been hurt before, it's natural to be cautious, but Sigma men take this to the next level. They won't just give you a second chance easily. They'll make you prove you're worth it. This means their circle stays small, filled only with those who have passed the loyalty test over time. When everyone else is keeping things light, Sigma men are watching closely, measuring your actions against their high standards. This protective nature is not about being mean or antisocial. They simply can't afford to get burned again. Each time someone close betrays them, the walls get higher and stronger. It's a defense mechanism that keeps their hearts safe but also keeps many people out. Imagine you're trying to be friends with someone who never opens up. You share your secrets, but they stay guarded. Feels one-sided, doesn't it? That's what people often feel with Sigma males. They sense the walls and might give up trying to get close. It's not that Sigma men don't want friends. They do, but they've suffered enough to know that it's safer to be cautious. They also don't rely on others for emotional support because they've trained themselves to handle things alone. While this makes them strong, it also makes them keep everyone at a distance. Most people won't stick around long enough to break down these barriers, leaving Sigma men with few friends. So while it might seem like they don't want friends, the truth is they're just very, very careful about who they let in. Number 5. Their honesty and straightforwardness can be intimidating. Not everyone is ready to hear the truth, especially when it's not what they want to hear. Sigma men are known for telling it like it is, and sometimes the truth can be hard to swallow. Their brutal honesty doesn't always sit well with others. When a Sigma sees a problem or something that needs to be said, he'll say it without sugarcoating. This can be a shock to people who are used to being told what they want to hear. Many people prefer sugar-coated feedback or hearing only what makes them feel good, but that's not how Sigma men operate. They believe in being real and direct, no matter how uncomfortable it might make others. If they think you're slacking off or being fake, they'll tell you straight up. It's not about being mean, it's about being truthful. But this level of honesty can scare people away, especially those who can't handle such straightforwardness. That's why Sigma men are often seen as intimidating. But they aren't interested in lying to make people feel better. They just value honesty over comfort, so they won't shy away from telling you what you need to hear. This can make them great leaders and mentors, but it can also be off-putting for those who prefer to be coddled. And if someone can't handle the truth, a Sigma man won't waste his time trying to convince them. He'll simply move on. Number 6. Not all friends have good intentions. Did you know that not everyone you call a friend actually wants you to succeed? It's true. Even though they might smile and say they're happy for you, deep down they might not want you to do better than them. They might even secretly hope for your failure. But why would a friend behave this way? Well, it might just be because of jealousy or insecurity. Your success may make them feel inadequate or inferior, or maybe they're just competitive and can't stand the thought of someone else doing better. They might make backhanded compliments or try to downplay your achievements. They may also constantly compare themselves to you, trying to prove they are better in some way. Sigma men are fed up with this kind of friend and will never keep them in their circle. They don't bring any positive energy to anyone's life and only create unnecessary drama and tension. This kind of friend can be more harmful than helpful. Sigma men are better off alone than surrounded by fake friends. This approach might seem lonely, but it actually gives them the freedom to be themselves fully. They don't have to worry about backstabbing or jealousy. So being alone or having just a few real friends is a small price to pay for peace of mind. Number 7. They rarely open up completely to anyone. Have you ever noticed that some people just don't share much about themselves? That's exactly how Sigma men are. When it comes to emotions or personal thoughts, they keep it all inside. They believe in handling their problems on their own rather than seeking help from others. This makes it tough for people to get close to them. When you don't share what's on your mind, it's hard for people to feel close to you. Sigma men don't open up easily, not because they don't care, but because they are incredibly cautious. Imagine you've trusted someone with a major secret, and it gets out. The embarrassment and hurt that follow can make you think twice before opening up again. Sigma men have often gone through this kind of betrayal and figured it's better to keep things to themselves. So they rarely open up completely to anyone, especially not acquaintances or new friends they've made quickly. Number 8. They don't need a ton of friends for validation. Some people feel more important when they have a ton of friends, even if they just met them for 1 minute. They believe that having a big circle makes them more popular and valued, but that's not how Sigma men think at all. They don't need a lot of friends to feel good about themselves. They are perfectly okay with having just a few or even one real friend. They don't rely on others to define their worth or success. Quality matters much more than quantity to Sigma men. They'd rather have a small circle of trust than a large group of acquaintances. They know that true friends are hard to come by, and they don't take these connections for granted. Real connections take time and effort, and they aren't interested in superficial friendships that don't have any substance. This doesn't mean they don't care about social interactions. They just prefer genuine connections over fleeting ones. Sigma men are self-sufficient and confident in who they are, so they don't feel the need to seek validation from others. They know their own value and don't depend on external validation to feel important.